provides free apprenticeship training and construction readiness for women in our region, as well as
What's up?
leadership and guidance. I also serve on the Fair Contracting Forum and the City of Portland staff capture who's brought us together on the ad hoc committee to support these goals. It is really critical that as a community and as a city, we don't simply talk about ways, diversity, equity, and inclusion, but that we actually implement ways to make it happen.
All right, hey, I gotta go.
And I would say that while there's still more work to be done, these are very complex issues. There's not a magic wand for education that firms have the opportunity to grow and that women and people of color have the opportunity to access these jobs, but that in working together and finding solutions in the city, working with community and industry collaboratively can lead us to meet and exceed those goals. So I'm very happy to be part of the committee and looking forward to continue to report good outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hudson?
Thank you. Am I reading this correctly, Lester, that Westside Iron Incorporated will get the bulk of the resources from this contract?
Yes, you are. They are the subcontractor that will do all of the steel work.
So I want to say this is actually the best representation of intentionality around ensuring that minorities and women are actually in a position to benefit from these city contracts. And I just want to put on the record, it's rare for a majority contractor to subcontract out the bulk of the resources. I would sure like to see that a lot more often. If we're talking about building those small businesses owned by communities of color and women. And I just want to thank you, Kelly, for the work that Working Trades Women continues to do. It's been a model that I have a lot of respect for, so thank you both.
And for the discussion, report, please call roll.
Second.
So moved.
Second. Now, roll.
Well, even though this came under OMF, which is the Mayor's Bureau, this is a PVOT project, which was my bureau, and this was a really challenging situation we found ourselves in. So first I want to thank Kelly Kupchak from Oregon Tradeswomen Inc. and Steve Sims, the Director of the Apprenticeship and Training Division of the Oregon Bureau of Labor and Industries, for helping our team work through how to meet our apprenticeship goals on this project. Utilization rates were not something I was aware of until I ran for office, and have just become one of my burning issues and an ongoing frustration with at the city. So unfortunately, the Community Equity and Inclusion Plan Committee that Council directed to be formed to advise and oversee projects that meet the CEIP standards, which is those with a cost between $10 and $25 million, was not up and running when this project went through the procurement process. So I hope in the future we will have that committee and we can avoid pitfalls like this, although the solution is really wonderful. Kelly and Steve's commitment to helping the city reach its equity outcomes went above and beyond the normal call of duty in this case. As has been mentioned, PVOT is naming this bridge after former Transportation Commissioner, now Member of Congress, William Minower, in honor of his commitment to making the city safer for pedestrians and bicyclists. The public art for this project has yet to be designed, but I'm hoping it involves a giant bow tie or a small one somewhere on the bridge, a bow tie. I also want to thank the team that has made this project possible. Millicent Williams from PVOT, project manager Dan Layden, lead consultant bridge designer Craig Totten from KPFF city engineering staff, Ryan Webb, Andy Sullivan, Stefan Busey, Mario De La Rosa, Cameron Glasgow, Kim Roski, and Jamie Jeffrey. I'm happy to vote aye.
Lester, most of the time you come in front of me, you are sweating bullets because you know the kind of questions I'm going to be asking you. Today, I want to compliment you. I want to compliment the majority contractor, HP Civic Inc. I think when we're trying to ensure that we're holding people accountable to the standards that we envision, I think it's always important to have models of people who understand what the goals are and not just exceed it, but are very intentional about making sure that they're building those long-term partnerships. So I am very pleased and very happy to be a strong eye in support of this particular contract. Lester is smiling at me. He really smiles at me over here. Aye.
Thank you for being here, both of you. This is a long-awaited project, and it's really great to know that it's going to be done in a manner which the community can be proud of. So, aye. 988, please.
Authorize $30 million of revenue bonds for North Macadam urban renewal area.
Do we have staff for this? Second reading. Thank you. Please call the roll.
David.
Aye.
Fish.
Aye.
Hardesty.
Aye. 989.
Authorize the acquisition of 1.87 acres of real property at 35319 at Southeast Carpenter Lane in the amount of $800,000 to be used for the Bull Run filtration project.
Thank you. Colleagues, this property purchase is one of many steps towards the construction and completion of the Bull Run filtration project. We are buying the property for the land and not for the house. Although we do not have a full design for the plant, we do know we will need this piece of property for pipe alignment regardless of what length or number of pipes we select in the design process, which will be coming back to council over the next several months. We will be bringing both the design contract, which will allow us to pay for design services, and a resolution which will provide direction for the design of the plant on November 13th. Here to go over the purchase of the property is Ben Gossett, right-of-way manager, and David Peters, principal engineer from the Water Bureau, to answer any questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Fritz. And Commissioners, my name is David Peters. I'm Program Director for the Bull Run Filtration Program. And I'd like to acknowledge in the audience today, we have a number of neighbors from around the property, around the Bull Run Filtration Program property. And I want to thank them for tracking the process and being here to participate in this process. The legislation before you today is related to the purchase of the property near the Bull Run Filtration project site. It's related to the development of the filtration plant. Today, we have Ben Gossett here, Water Bureau right-of-way manager, to explain the details of the proposed purchase.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Ben Gossett. I'm the right-of-way manager at the Portland Water Bureau. Item 989 would authorize the Water Bureau to purchase a parcel of property in Gresham, Oregon. You can see.
Do we have that so we can put it on the screen for people to see? Do we have a slide so that people can see it?
I do not have an electronic.
Okay, so could somebody from my office please bring in the graphic that I have in my office? Sorry.
Sorry about that. This ordinance would authorize the Water Bureau to purchase the subject property. It is located across from property already owned by the Water Bureau for the purpose of planning and constructing a filtration facility. The property consists of 1.7 acres. There is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house located on the property. There are also several other outbuildings, including a separate garage, a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, and a barn, and several other smaller outbuildings. The purpose that the Water Bureau has for purchasing the property primarily is that it is a pipeline connection to Southeast Dodge Park Boulevard. The Water Bureau contract outlines a purchase price of $800,000. We're
If we
currently,
could just pause your presentation for a minute and ask the community media folks to please focus in on this. So this, you can't see it very well, this green is where the filtration plant is, this is where the property is, and this, there we go. This green is where the filtration plant will be built. This is Dodge Park Boulevard. The pipes will need to come off the property and get to Dodge Park Boulevard, and then they go west to the city. So essentially this would be a place where the picture is worth 1,000 words, and I apologize that we didn't have it that correctly.
So the orange square that you were pointing to is a strategic opportunity to connect to Dodge Park Boulevard. We have a contract currently to purchase the property for $800,000 and a 6-month term in which to do that, which expires on December 20th.
And the only thing I'll add is that this property, the broker's estimate for it was $814,000, and we are proposing to purchase it for $800,000. Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions for Dave Peters. First of all, I think it's worthwhile every time we take up a piece of this to remind the public that we are currently under a federal mandate to treat our water for purpose emerging. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And we're not here today to have a hearing on whether the federal government's ruling is wise or not, or whether we think we agree with the science or not. Today, we're talking about the acquisition of a piece of property for the pipes. The question I have for you, though, in light of the revised cost estimates of filtration is as follows. If the council chooses to revisit alternative technologies as a way of bringing the cost down, and I'm not forecasting what that would look like, but I'm just saying as part of the conversations we're having, if the council chooses to look at alternative technologies rather than revise the estimates upward as is one proposal, would we still need to acquire this piece of land, and if so, why?
Well, that's a wide-ranging question in terms of what the technologies might be looking forward. You may recall that in 2012, we were looking at a UV facility that would be at Headworks. If that was an option, that would not require this particular piece of property to construct. If there's other options that could be available that could go on this site.
Other kinds of filtration options?
Well, any filtration option that would be on the site, anything that would be on this site would require use of this property for pipelines.
So,
yes.
even if there was a proposal for a different kind of filtration technology, if there are alternatives, we would need this property for the pipes.
If we built at this site any filtration type technology, yes. If we built at this site, that would require the pipeline through this piece of property.
Okay, and I guess I appreciate Commissioner Fritz pulling up the visual, because I think it tells a story. But can you explain just very simply why the pipes can't make a connection to any of the areas where the current our property is contiguous with the road?
In terms of on the Dodge Park Road, Dodge Park Boulevard. Yes, on that particular piece of property, Dodge Park Boulevard, after it goes around the curve, actually starts going downhill. It drops nearly 300 feet as it goes down to Lusted Hill. So the terrain through there is very steep and would be much more costly construction.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Marcy.
Thank you, Madam President. To the public who may only read the headline and find out that we're buying a mansion, would you put on the public record why we are buying this particular piece of property and why it's vital to the project that you will be undertaking?
This particular property came available for sale here at the beginning of the project. We had a seller that was moving out of town, and we're looking to sell their property. So it was an opportunity that we looked at and said that's an opportunity where we're looking at pipelines to go out to Dodge Park Boulevard to purchase that property without having to go through processes in the future, such as eminent domain, to obtain property.
And is there any other way to complete the pipeline without going through this particular